Hey guys, Blue here, and I'm bringing you our deck profile for Weevil from Battle City. So of course, Weevil's deck still is insect themed and still revolves around his Great Moth. This time we get to see what its real final stage is, because as he says in Duel's Kingdom, Yugi stopped it short, producing the Great Moth, as opposed to its final perfectly ultimate Great Moth. But plenty of new insects make an appearance as well, so let's see what's in this deck. First up, 2 Flying Kamikiri number 2, followed by 2 Gokabor, and this concludes his normal monsters. 1 Cockroach Knight, 2 of our errated Cocoon of Evolution, just replacing Petite Moth with Larva Moth, because that's how he did it in the anime. That's not how our card works out, but we're going to twist it up for the anime. 2 copies of Flying Kamikiri number 1. 1 copy of Great Moth. Same, it's errata that it just replaces Petite Moth with Larva Moth in all of our duels. 2 copies of Insect Queen. It was nice to see we will have something besides the Great Moth. And something that I thought was a bit newer and more refreshing, I'd say, of a monster. Aside from just the really strong Great Moth, this one has more effect to it. 2 Insect Soldiers of the Sky. 2 Kisatai. 2 Larva Moth. Sticker, same thing. Just replaces itself instead of Petite Moth. 3 copies, Parasite. So the reason this one we did 3 of is because its effect to make your opponent's monsters insect types. This is how Weevil took advantage over Joey, is a combination of this and Insect Barrier. Now, we don't have the card, it's not printed, the card, that we will use to search this from Joey's deck to the field. And whereas in the anime it was slipped into Joey's deck by that kid that we will paid off, or so to speak, with the Gokabor, we have to get this card in the old-fashioned way. So set it, flip it, get it set in the deck, and 3 copies makes it more consistent, again, without having that card from the anime, which searched out the Parasite and brought it to the field. Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth. Again, Larva Moth, not Petite Moth in the effect. That's it. So the true form of Petite Moth, of Larva Moth, becoming Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth. Finally seen that in Battle City, but still had its life cut a bit short. 2 Pinch Hopper. A 3rd copy, if you want to go that route, we settled for 2. That's how we wanted to work it, but this is a card that, a 3rd copy could be advantageous. Although his deck doesn't have that many tributes, it's really the moths that require the cocoon or the insect queens. Skullmark Ladybug. So Weevil's deck this time featured a few ways to get life points back now. And that concludes his monster lineup. So pretty heavy on the monsters. And they have a range of effects, unlike the Duel's Kingdom stuff that was really all normal monsters that had attacks. His Battle City works more around strategies. And he does not have a trap lineup. His spell lineup is minimal, but arguably effective. So 3 copies of Eradicating Aerosol. Also on our errata list, because in the anime it was target 1 insect and destroy it. The printed one is destroy all insect types. So it's for 2 reasons. 1, it's like the anime, so that if you had a Pinch Hopper as Weevil, but also an Insect Queen, you could kill the Pinch Hopper and not the Insect Queen to summon up a 2nd Insect Queen. But at the same time, if you pull off successfully a Parasite and your opponent has 3 or 4 monsters that are now insects, this stops it from being a Raigeki. So errating is advantageous to both players in that the controller, so the character playing, whoever's playing Weevil's deck, can pick and choose an insect they have to remove from their field, like Pinch Hopper, without wiping the whole field, or also the opponent does not have to worry about them being wiped out completely should their monsters be turned to insects. Three of Insect Barrier. So again, the card is overall useless. You need that parasite, and then that is what creates that lockdown effect for Weevil. And that can be incredibly, or is definitely incredibly advantageous if you can lock your opponent out from attacking. Following up with Monster Reborn. 3 multiplication chance. Also, if you did have to, get rid of one of your monsters for something, tokens is always good to feed Insect Queen, although she does also make her own tokens. But this is something that's good for tributes or, building up defense. And then the last card is just Chupagri to help speed things along. So Weevil's deck is not overly complex. There was not really much Delta and I did to fluff it up, unlike some characters that we've already seen, like, say, Esperoba, and a few more to come. His deck is somewhat well-rounded, for being a character built straight from the anime. It's, it's a lot of fun, especially if you like the insect types. So definitely stay tuned for more duels and deck profiles coming from our Battle City event, where we're going through and doing the games from Battle City. So as always, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video.